Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. How have you been? How is life treating you? I have been good, as you can see. It's been interesting time. Obviously, in the UK, the lockdown is slightly lifted, but we still are not working. Some of us are still followed, and we are at home. And even though the lockdown is eased by the UK government, I personally, myself and also my friends, we've decided to actually just stay at home and work from home and try not to see each other and all of that good stuff, because just because the lockdown is lifted does not mean that we're just gonna go and do the most, you know. And I understand there are a lot of people who are super excited to do that, but stay at home, okay? Stay at home and save lives. Ramadan was interesting because this is the first Ramadan that I've stayed at home and not worked. Usually Ramadan I'm just running around and doing a lot and fasting at the same time. I think at the beginning the Ramadan spirit was just not there for me personally. Like it took a few days for me to get to the hang of Ramadan, because this is weird. Like we're all at home and we're fasting, and usually you go Taraweeh, you go see your friends, you're fully booked, you know. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go to this friend's house and I'm gonna go to this family member. And that was not the case this Ramadan. This Ramadan was just like, okay, so every day it's just us guys, let's eat together, let's cook together, and you know, all of that stuff. So Ramadan was interesting one. I loved it. At the end I started to enjoy and everything. So yeah, I hope your Ramadan was going well for you. Do let me know, comment below, how was Ramadan? I think I've spoken to a few people and they felt a bit confused about the schedule and the timing and everything, because, you know, but at the same time, I'm super grateful that it was Ramadan, because that's one thing that kept me like, you know, because imagine being locked for weeks, right? And then Ramadan comes, it distracts you from reality. You know, you start to focus on making samosas, tuna samosas, sambus malai. You start making tuna samosas, you start doing things, and next thing you know, you're preparing for Eid. And I'm just super grateful for Ramadan. I'm so glad it came. It couldn't have come a better time. Alhamdulillah, exciting time. One thing that was really interesting was to see like period pain.
Why?
You know, even though you should be grateful to have your period. I am grateful, but it was so painful, guys. It was so painful to the extent where I was just like, I'm trying to find the connection. What is the connection between period pain, PMS, and lockdown? Is it because we're like, at the beginning, a few weeks ago, it was quite stressful. You know, so many people passed away. People are worried about their family and friends. Some people are teachers. Some people are pregnant. Like, it's just like so many things happening around you. Your body is just confused. So I'm trying to find what is the actual link between period and the lockdown. What is it? There's just so many things that you know that you can seek help, but the NHS open, please get yourself checked. So yeah, that was one thing that really got to me about the whole thing, but I'm okay now. I do have energy to film, because obviously it was Ramadan and most of the time I was just like like, you know, sleeping most of the time, and it was really interesting. And also I've seen a tweet that made me really happy and like laugh, and it wasn't even that funny. It was a guy who said something on the line of like, I am now fluent in bird language, and yes, I second that. I'm awake the whole night, and like when it gets 5 in the morning, I hear like all the birds having like a conversation. I'm like, I try to find which one is which, and it's so sad. Like my life got to this. Hey. if you're struggling with your job right now, if your boss hooked you up and you are getting your follow money, then congratulations. You are in a privileged situation, because there are people who are not entitled or didn't get access to follow money because of, you know, the timing that they left their job. But if you're unsure of how your work treated you during this pandemic, then you seriously need to think of what you're gonna do next, because I think where you work is very, very important, because you spend most of your time there. That's where you see more of your work colleagues and your boss than you do with your friends and families. You spend like 30-40 hours with them, so it's very important that you're absolutely comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, and if they moved mad, shady during the pandemic, then I personally would say, like, try to look for another job and work somewhere else, because it brings out true colors of people. And personally for me, if you didn't look after me while the pandemic was happening, and if you didn't do what you were supposed to do for me while I didn't have no control and all the power was in your hand, then I'm gonna side eye you, because I'll just be like, okay, like, why would I come and work for you? Because the relationship now is no longer in a good spirit, because it would have been in a good spirit if you looked after, like, the person, and if you reassured them, if you contacted them regularly, updated them. If you did all of that, then you're good to go. But if you didn't do all of that and the person is unsure, they're probably not gonna come back for you. But yeah, so definitely try to change your environment, look for another job. I know it's going to be very, very hard, but you can make a long-term plan that, you know, you need your exit plan. You don't want to be in an environment where they didn't look after you in this situation, because it's really tough time, and the power was not in our hand the majority of the time. And obviously the government did provide some sort of help, but what about if that help was not there? Would you have staff? Would this employee pay you? Would they have paid you? If the government didn't pay you, would they have paid you at least 50%, at least 30%, something to keep you going? You need to look at all that possibility, because if they're point blank, if they planned not to pay you at all, even without the government help, if they couldn't physically pay, I understand, but if they could pay at least some sort of percentage to keep you going, and they didn't pay you, then are you with the right person? Are you working for the right person? So yeah, there's so many things you have to think about, and the culture, and if there's no good vibe, then bounce and look for something else. That's one thing about contract. And it's very, like, it's so funny, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she is, I will definitely have her as a guest. She is an expert in this situation, and she always tells me that, you know, contract is very, very important. Check your contract and see what is actually in your contract. You can debate a contract, by the way. If your contract is dodgy and it's illegal, then you can be like, this contract is illegal, this contract makes no sense. Like, nobody can mistreat you. You have the right to check your contract and see what fits in. Of course, you have to do your bit as well. You have to be a good employee and follow all the rules, but you have to know your contract. And when it comes to protection, your contract is what protects you. So yeah, make sure that you check your contract before you sign and see how it goes and learn from it. Like, you don't want someone to turn around and just be like, hey, you know, you're fired today, and you're like, what? Like, that's not how it works in the UK. You can't fire people in the UK. You need to give them a notice. I'm sorry. Like, yes, you are the manager or you're the boss, but as someone who works for that person, you also have rights, and the person can't just dispose you. You're not like, I just can get rid of you, this is my business. No, there should be some sort of mutual agreement that, okay, cool, I don't no longer want you to work for me. I'll send you all your paperwork, and then next week is your last whatever. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, excited. I'm not even fasting. What? Yeah, dropped my drink. Yeah, so you do have your rights, so you should always check your contract, see where you're going, and protect yourself and protect the people around you, and don't be scared to ask questions. Like, Scared for what? For what? Ask them, what is this? What does this mean? Like you need to, because there's nothing to be scared of. At the end of the day, they're human, just like you, and if they're really nice people, they would explain everything to you. There's no power or control. This is a mutual agreement that you guys are working together for the purpose of this building or this place or this project or this cafe, whatever it is that you do. So you have rights, and please don't be too shy. Don't be like, oh my god, I don't ask contracts, like I don't want to get fired. Fire me. In fact, there's a recession and I don't care. Like, bye bye, it's been good. You know what I mean? Dust yourself and pick yourself up, and there will be someone who would value you and respect you and give you the best of deals, bonus. You might even get paid better in somewhere else, instead of keeping your mouth hush and you're at this job, you're scared to talk about your contract, you're scared to talk about asking for money raise, you're scared to talk about your holidays. I'm sorry, you're not in the right place. Like, that's a genuinely adult conversation. And if I'm paying national insurance, I need to know what's going on. Like, don't be shy to ask questions. I don't even know why I'm talking about contracts. But yeah, that's one thing about employment. Check your contract, know your rights, ask for promotion, look for other jobs to match your skills, talk to other people, get a mentor, and focus on like building your own skills. And yes, and millennials now apparently don't stay in a job more than 2 years anyway. So if you're staying somewhere more than 2 years with the same salary, same everything, same position, then you're a millennial, but you're a different kind of millennial, because most of them are not that loyal. They just stay for like a year, max 2 years, and then they bounce. So yeah, that's the thing about employment. And in terms of like your health and well-being, I would just say, like, try to go for walks, speak to your friends, have fun, and like do like a party where you can do on the FaceTime. And yes, just because we're in a lockdown does not mean we can't have fun. Do like 3-4 way call on WhatsApp. You can do that now. So yes, do that and have fun. Into dating, I think, like, if you have been dating someone and they didn't contact you and they didn't like holler at you, they didn't send food to your house, or they didn't come and show up outside your house and be all romantic, and you just open the window and you just like, do hey. If that whole thing didn't happen, girl or boy, you need to reevaluate this relationship, because what do you think this is? We are in the middle of pandemic. And if they didn't check for you, then you have to be like, okay, not with friends, but I'm talking about relationships, yeah, because with friendships different, do you know what I mean? But with the relationship, I think is like a trial. It's been a few weeks, and I feel like you could have at least messaged and said like, hey, how are you, blah blah blah, but also what you need, you want me to bring something, all of that stuff. So please look around and see how this guy or this girl was treating you, because I feel like the world is going in a very interesting way where we don't know what is going to happen, and we might end up in a lockdown in the future. There might be another situation, and you really need a partner who's going to be there for you, and not just like text or whatever, but actually show up, go to shop with you, or when the lockdown was not there, did they come visit you? And yes, people could still come, and they can drive past, and you can wave or whatever. There's just so many, you could do social distance. There's just so many things you could have done during this lockdown. So it's very important that you look and check what was happening, And with friendship, I think not necessarily, it's not that deep. As long as they're okay and you're okay, it's all good to go. I'm actually like working on my coffee brand, and I have a few meetings. I will get samples next week, and hopefully next week I will show you guys how it looks and what it tastes like. I'm going for more light roast, more something light to drink and pleasant and easy, So yeah, I'm super excited about this journey. If you do want to follow my coffee journey, then please follow me on Instagram at Taco Coffee or London Taco. And yes, that's where I'm gonna put all the information, and yes, soon you'll be able to order my coffee. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you have an amazing day. Lots of love. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube. I appreciate you. Subscribe, comment, like, and put the notification bell. And I'm gonna post, obviously, because yes, it's not like Ramadan is coming to an end, and I do have the energy for it as well. And I love sitting down and just talk to you guys. It's so nice. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.